Welcome to Community Convener, the official podcast of the Henry County Chamber of Commerce, and welcome to our 12th episode. My name is Joseph Henning. I'm the president and CEO for the Henry County Chamber, and I am also your host. This podcast is all about bringing you the people, programs, and progress driving business growth and community connections right here in Henry County. So grab a coffee and let's dive in. All right, well, welcome back to this episode's Catalytic Conversation, and I'm excited today to talk a little bit about the Georgia Gold Scholarship Program. And so we have three individuals here that are going to share some information with us. And Don, let's start with you. Don, where are you from and what's your role there?
I'm Don Dunlap with Our World School. I'm head of school over there, kind of keeping things moving over there and making sure everything gets done.
All right, thank you. And Rodney?
Yeah, I'm Rodney Clark. I've been at Creekside Christian Academy for the past 5 years, going into my 6th year, and I'm the head of school there.
And Janna?
I'm Janna Szeto. I'm the Director of Development for Creekside Christian Academy.
Well, welcome all, and I appreciate you. Would I qualify those as all private schools?
You would.
Okay. Well, welcome then. It's great to hear from that section of our education system within Henry County. And I know you have a big program coming up, the Georgia Gold Scholarship Program. So what can you tell me about the program in general?
So it's a way that local individuals and businesses can direct the income tax, Georgia income tax liability that they'd be paying anyway, to come to support a local private school in their community and help those parents be able to get scholarships to defer tuition.
Okay. That's interesting. We're going to have to dig deeper on that because right now you're over my head. So we're going to bring that down a little bit if we can. But why is that important to your two schools?
So I'll speak first for Creekside. So obviously public education, they can go there for free. But if someone is wanting an alternative, if they want the Christian school setting or a private school setting, then obviously we have to charge for them to be able to come and be a part of that. And so there's a lot of families who want that difference. Maybe it's smaller classroom size, maybe it's the interaction, maybe it's the spiritual component that they are looking for to come to a private Christian school. And so to be able to do that, sometimes they can't afford what that tuition rates are for us to be able to keep the lights on, to pay our staff, to do all the things that we have to do where we set that tuition rate. And so this is a means that helps taxpayers get a tax credit for directing their taxes to a school, but then it allows these families to be able to enroll their children. Now, we don't give 100%. We feel like they still need some skin in the game so that they are a part of choosing this education, but it helps them out to make it more affordable for them to be able to choose that option if that's what they're wanting to do.
Okay, thank you. So looking at this, Don, tell me, because you have an exceptional school. Yours isn't a religious-based school, is that correct?
That's correct.
So for individuals with exceptional needs, you look at them, whether it's on the disabled, things like that. Is that correct?
Yeah, mostly autism, but there's a lot of other things.
So that's part of what they get through public education, is that they would get their IEPs and that through the public school. So what is the benefit of going over to Our World School?
Well, I would say, number one, we do actually have IEPs.
Mm-hmm.
We're one of the few private schools around that serves special needs that does legit IEPs. We've got life skills embedded in every one of our classes. We've got various on-site therapeutic firms that are able to serve those kids so the parents aren't having to take time off of work to get them therapy and all that. So really, it keeps the parents at work. Their coworkers are happy. Their bosses are happy. We've got, in addition to the Gold Scholarship, we also participate in the Georgia Special Needs Scholarship. So the combination of those allows our kids, our parents, to be able to afford to put their sons and daughters in our school. The tuition is relatively high because I pay my teachers the same things Henry County Schools does, so I keep them. But as a consequence of that, the tuition's pretty big, and our class sizes are pretty small. The lower ability classes are 7, the upper ability classes max 10, and we have a teacher and a paraprofessional in every classroom. So we have the small class sizes that IDEA really would want you to have to be able to successfully implement those IEPs and deliver them through the lens of the curriculum.
You're giving them the opportunity for the education and the therapeutics at the same time in one location versus having to...
Yeah, we tell folks that we're preparing our kids for academic, social, and life success. The 3 legs on that stool of success in post-secondary life and being a contributing member of society and having a life of quality and dignity.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. So tell me about this program and why is it important? Anybody? I'm just gonna have a conversation.
Well, I'll speak first, and then
Okay.
I'll let Janna jump in and maybe give some more details on it. I think it's important to educate um, the general public about this program, even though it's been around for quite a while. It's a little difficult to grasp until you've actually heard from several people who have either participated in or experts in that field, whether they're a tax accountant or somebody who has given to the program. And so we want to be able to educate people and let them know about this program so
Okay.
they can take advantage of that. And we do plan on having a number of people there, both people who have given, people who have received, some tax accountants, and people from the Georgia Goal. Because, if we're just coming, if Don and I are just coming and asking people to be a part of this program, then it seems maybe a little sticky as to, of course, you're asking for money. But if they see people who have actually given to the program and how that tax credit works, and then visit with people from Georgia Goal and have a tax expert there who can speak to the tax laws. And this really is, because this is what we get when you tell people about it. They say, well, it sounds too good to be true. And it's not. It is legitimate. People have been doing it for quite some time now. And so it is a benefit to them personally where they can help us out and help families out in this manner. And so I think it's important to have a forum like this to educate people.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I think it's great and really beneficial to the community because, yes, your two organizations, the three of you are the ones out promoting this opportunity available to them. It's not exclusive to your two schools.
Right. We've invited other private schools that participate in Goal to attend so that the community, the financial services professionals that are in there can see it's not just a couple schools that do this, it's across the whole county. If you see a school participating that you're passionate about, you can direct those dollars to that school.
Okay.
I would say most of the private schools and private Christian schools are participating at some level in this. And so it has been a great service across the state. You have so much participation in it that they actually have reached the cap of what they can give number of times. And they're trying to go and get the cap raised and are looking at other ways that the federal government may come in and give some dollars to help raise the cap in these areas for these types of programs. And so like my first year here 5 years ago, when we participated in it for Creekside, you got somewhere in the 80% of what you could actually receive back on it. Now, it's 100% tax credit, but if you go over that cap, then you only get, based on what they've distributed out for anybody. They have so much promoted this year or so much involvement in it that they're anticipating maybe only 52, 53% that you would get in tax credit or well, you'd get the 100% of what you give, but that you could only give 52 to 53% of the allotted amount.
Okay, so that's good then that you've got. I think you said the tax accountants and the goal representatives and that at the event.
Well, yeah, having those folks involved is good because our target market is financial service professionals, whether it's a financial planner, an accountant, any of those folks that have clients that they advise on their taxes, that they advise on how to plan their finances so that they can give them this opportunity, especially if it's a pass-through business that might have that SALT tax cap. So there may be a federal benefit for them. And that's why having those tax professionals in there and having the folks from Goal in Atlanta come down to be able to explain some of the unique ways that participating in Goal can help your community, but also help you in both state and federal, and be able to be recognized by writing a check that you'd be writing anyway and letting people in your community see that you support choice in education.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. How do these programs like Georgia Goal and Georgia Promise and that, how is that shaping the future of education, specifically here, but in the state of Georgia?
So from my perspective, participating in Goal, Promise, and we don't participate in Promise because of some of the testing issues. My particular customer base isn't going to handle those kinds of tests. But these are all opportunities for people in Georgia to be able to help private school parents be able to afford to put their kids to school. But the reason they're able to do that is because it turns out it's cheaper to the citizens of Georgia to educate a student in a private school than a public school. So every student that doesn't enter the public school system or comes to us from the public school system is saving the citizens and taxpayers of Georgia money. We're doing a valuable service for the citizens in the state.
All right.
Yeah, and I was going to add on to that, because sometimes there's a point of contention when you look at these programs saying, are we taking tax dollars from the public school system? And as Don has just mentioned, we actually can educate for cheaper at the private school, and it saves them money out of that. So there's no point of contention. And the minimal amount of students who are actually participating in the private school, it's not really hurting the public school sector anyways.
But we're not competing with the public school system. We're complementing the public schools.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. One quick question. Can you break down why it's so important that they get the early action involved in this, that securing these tax credits is so important to get to it early?
Well, as Dr. Clark mentioned, on day one in January, they're going to reach that cap, $120 million across the state of Georgia. Every year we reach that cap. And my wife and I are participants. Every June, we apply to write a $5,000 check to Gold because we're married, filed jointly. They let me write a $2,600 check last year. That's the most I could write. And then the Department of Revenue sent me a $2,600 tax credit. So I'm legit taking tax dollars, and instead of putting them in the general fund, I'm helping my parents out with it. But that's why it's such a big deal to act immediately, because as soon as January 1 hits, it's done.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that. A lot to get to know about the whole program. And so definitely, if they're interested, they need to show up. But do you have any stories? We always love storytelling. Do you have any stories that you could share on how this program has impacted your students or a group of students or a family or anything like that at your school?
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of stories of how it impacts. I'll tell one. When we put these events on at the school to inform our parents of what they can do or people who are connected with the school, then we have students and parents who have been beneficiaries of this to get up and to speak to some of these. And so I'll speak of one young lady in particular who just graduated from Creekside, and she would not have been able to afford to come if she did not get these gold scholarship dollars that we give. And so you can get lost in the fray sometimes in a larger setting. And so as Don has mentioned, of course, at their school, because it's exceptional school, they have very good teacher to student ratios. We have good teacher to student ratios as well. In our elementary, we'll do 16 to 18 to one teacher. At the high school, we don't typically go over 22 students in a classroom. And so it gives that environment where students are able to have more time to interact with the teacher, to interact with other students, to interact with the subject matter that's being taught, and spending time in that particular environment. So we have a young lady who was able to come because of the Georgia Gold Scholarship that was given. And she got involved with the STEM and robotics, which is not typical for girls to go into those programs. But we have a phenomenal technology director and STEM teacher in Stacy Wright, who is a proponent not only of STEM and robotics, but also women going into that area. And she starts them out in the elementary. They start doing those things. And this young lady had gone through Mrs. Wright's program, and through that was able to secure a STEM scholarship and be able to apply that to college because of what she had gotten, where had she not come through ours and had somebody who took the time to invest in her to be able to get her involved in that field. And as a part of that, she actually traveled out to Grand Canyon University on 2 different occasions because we go participate in their national STEM competition. Okay. And she was a part of a team that came back with the first place at the national level because of STEM, being afforded those opportunities because of this program.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Great story. Don, how about you? Highlight from our world school.
So the first year we participated in Goal, we had somebody apply to the school, took a tour. We walked her around the building, back out to the car, her and her daughter. And the principal, when we walked back in, looked at me and she's like, all of their belongings are in their car. So this is an unhoused family, mom and 2 daughters, 1 daughter with special needs. There's no way in the world that they'd be able to put their child at a special needs school. But the combination of the Georgia Special Needs Scholarship and the Georgia Gold Scholarship, we were able to, in this instance, fully fund their tuition that year so that she could get back on her feet and know that her daughter was being taken care of. It's hugely powerful. Girl's still at school. She's a big hugger and she's amazing. And it's just so nice to know that our neighbors here in Henry County, helped that girl be able to keep her slot at our school and grow and learn. And it's been amazing.
Yeah. And I think just kudos to the neighborhood for that, because not only did they help the mother get back on her feet from that, but also, we know that in that instance, any gap is more significant on a special needs exceptional student than it is on your average student. And so the fact that she could continue it without the interruption just makes it that much more valuable. So Janna, as we wrap up, how do people register? Give me the details, please, on the event.
Okay, so the event will happen on August 14th in the Hudgens Room right here at the Chamber of Commerce. And that event will be lunch and learn style from 11 to 1 p.m. And you will be able to go on to Creekside Academy's Facebook page and get more details and a QR code of how to register. Go to our World Schools Facebook page and find the same information. And thanks to the Chamber for helping us and promoting this effort as well.
Absolutely. Thank you. So August 14th, 11 to 1, the Hudgens Room. Thank you. All right. Well, I want to thank you all for this. It's been educational for me, actually. So thanks for your time. But as we wrap up, Don, any last minute thoughts?
So I used to teach. Economics, among other things. In economics, on page 1 of the textbook, it says there is no such thing as a free lunch. But in this case, there is. So if you're a financial services professional, come get a free lunch and learn how you can help your clients, help parents in our community put their kids in a private school, exercising that school choice that they're passionate about.
But wait, there's more. It's a free lunch, and
you get continuing education credits for accountants that come to the event.
And Dr. Clark, any last minute thoughts? Anything that you want to leave them with?
Well, I appreciate you having us on this podcast. I appreciate the Chamber for promoting this event for us, that we can let people know about this. And we are thankful for the people in Georgia who already participate in this program. As I said earlier, it's not just a one box fit all for education. Lots of people have different preferences and needs for them. And so this really makes that possible for families, particularly families that financially it might not be attainable for them.
Absolutely.
And so we are appreciative that people couple with us, that Georgia is doing this, and that we are able to make it attainable for families who want a private education or a private Christian education.
No, absolutely. It's our pleasure to work with you on this. I think it's another great opportunity. So as Janna alluded to, continuing ed credits for CPAs with this. And so really targeting accountants and financial planners and that type of individual. But if I am interested as a taxpayer, should I come to this, or should I reach out to my accountant in that and get the answers?
I'd talk to my tax professional because they know your taxes, where you may not.
Oh, I know my taxes.
You know the painful part of it, but they're going to know the way that
Right.
you can minimize that pain, and they need to hear this strategy. A lot of them already know, a lot of them don't. So if you ask that question, they may say, oh, wait, I didn't know about this. And they may sign up.
Okay. So if I'm here as just Joe, the chamber exec, I want to reach out to my financial planner, my accountant or whatever at this point to say, hey, I want to do this. If you don't know anything about it, I'd like you to attend.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And that is on any of our websites. They can find that information. And it is August 14th from 11 to 1 here at the Chamber of Commerce. I want to thank you three for promoting this opportunity for the students and the families in Henry County, but also for those taxpayers in Henry County, because it's a win-win. But just thank you for your time. This has been great. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. This week's Elite Member Highlight is Central Georgia EMC. On April 10th, 1937, a petition for chartering the Central Georgia Electric Membership Corporation was filed, and on July 11th of 1937, the organization officially came into being. Central Georgia EMC, delivering safe and reliable electric service, requires careful planning, coordination, and consistent maintenance. Central Georgia EMC is dedicated to providing reliable energy while reducing our carbon footprint. As part of this commitment, Central Georgia EMC partners with Green Power EMC to offer renewable energy options that help members make a positive environmental impact. Thank you, Central Georgia EMC, for your support of the Henry County Chamber of Commerce and for our Small Business Resource Center.
Ever wonder how your business could be featured right here on the podcast? It's easier than you think. We're offering podcast sponsorships that include shout outs like this one, a spotlight in our episode description, and the option to record your own or let us read it for you. Want even more visibility? Bundle your podcast with a feature in our Chamber e-newsletter for double your impact. Sponsorships are limited. Email Trinity at tarcher@henrycounty.com to learn more.
And now for your list of upcoming events. On August 5th, we have our headshot mini sessions with Dryden House Photography from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. by appointment. Do you need a fresh headshot? For just $100, join for a 10-minute session, 2 digital images, online gallery access, and print release provided by Dryden House Photography. On August 12th, Coffee and Collaboration features business insurance services. From 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., what would happen to your business if life threw a curveball? Join us as Ninotchka Freeman, managing broker at McClammy Freeman Insurance Services, breaks down practical, no-fluff strategies to safeguard your business and your future. On August 12th from 10 to 11:30 a.m., Chase Bank Small Business Workshop Series features Navigating Your Cash Flow. Understand the flow behind your finances. Learn how to manage your money with intention and clarity to fuel growth. On August 14th, the Bridge to Business is back at Henry County from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Don't miss this chance to connect one-on-one with experts in legal, finance, and business strategy. Plus, explore AI productivity tools from the Better Business Bureau. On August 26th, from 11:30 a.m. until 1, Future-Proofing Your Business, a comprehensive guide to navigating challenging times. In a world of constant uncertainty, learn how to anticipate and prepare for unseen events, understand future-proofing, identify 7 key strategies, integrate AI, and implement actionable steps. Well, welcome back for our connecting point for this episode of the podcast. And we are excited today. We have representatives from Delta Community Credit Union, Jerry Freeman. Jerry, tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience with Delta Community.
Absolutely. I represent the business development team. So primarily my role is to partner with businesses, of course, schools and government entities to kind of talk about many of the benefits and advantages of banking with Delta Community Credit Union. Also, another thing that we do outside of all of those things is to also have free financial education workshops. We do that every single month for those that have the time and ability for employee small groups. We even have monthly webinars for our financial education as well. The benefit of that is employees do not have to have account or loan products with us in order to participate. So I do that and also serve as a catalyst in terms of our community development team to kind of bring the awareness around our philanthropic funds, our awards, our sponsorships through our community development team. So it's a great opportunity to be able to represent Delta and all the things that we do throughout the community.
So truly a community credit union.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Absolutely. Yes.
Well, Jerry, what really sparked our interest, and we love you all at Delta Community and your support in that, but what really sparked our interest was 11 consecutive years that Delta Community has been identified by Atlanta Business Chronicle's Best Places to Work. What does that entail? What does Delta Community do that sets itself apart from other employers to make it such a best place to work? What are some of those examples you have?
Absolutely. And I must say, I'm thoroughly impressed that you guys knew that information and did that
We keep
research.
tabs on our members.
Absolutely. We take immense pride in being named for such a prestigious award for the 11th consecutive year. The ongoing recognition and results, Joseph, they're based on a comprehensive evaluation process, which includes an employee survey. So it is truly rewarding and an accurate reflection of the employee experience, which speaks directly to our workplace culture. And you asked in terms of the culture, what kind of sets us apart? And I can say firsthand, what sets us apart is definitely simple. We operate as a not-for-profit financial cooperative. So for 85 years, we have chosen to share our earnings with members instead of outside investors. So what that simply means is the only mandates we have are those established and voted upon by our board and executive leadership. And what that does is allow us to build a workplace where employees have a clearly defined purpose and impact. It's a sense of freedom in our culture, and it really, really yields a member-centric satisfaction.
And I think that's so amazing. Congratulations for that, because
Yes.
that is one of the things that we've identified as we've looked at organizational culture for the last year or so, is that flexibility and freedom and putting up the guardrails so
Sure.
that people do not drive off the road, but giving them that freedom to take care of customer problems and identify solutions for improvements in that. And so kudos to you and Delta Community.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, Jerry, for 11 consecutive years, y'all have received this award, and that, as you said, involves the employee surveys. Part of cultural improvement and continuous improvement is identifying opportunities within those surveys to make improvements. Have you seen some of that happen in that period? Like maybe we were lower in this area, and so what are we doing to improve it? Have you seen some of that happen?
That happens every single year. Each year, what we do, we have an employee team day, and this is for the entire enterprise for all of our 33 branch locations. Over 1,000 employees. We all kind of meet here in Metro Atlanta, and part of that team day is to kind of recognize achievements from team members, is to recognize our goals and milestones, all those great things that we have accomplished. But part of that is a sort of a Q&A to where our CEO, Hank, literally stands there and take questions from employees. It's direct feedback. The great part about it is not only is Hank there, also the executive team. And so they literally take these questions and they take the feedback from direct employees in the same room. It's not a survey. I mean, you're hearing it you're hearing it really from the employees. And
Yeah.
it's a great opportunity for them to hear kind of one-on-one of the feedback and things that are going well and things that possibly need to be improved upon.
Wow. So another great example of organizational culture and that continuous feedback loop, the communications loop, and that open communications.
Absolutely. Open
Amazing.
communication, for
Amazing.
sure.
What other things like team dynamics and trust in leadership? I mean, that alone, that feedback day, that employee day is a huge push for the trust with leadership. But what are
Mhm.
some of the intentional things that the leadership does to foster that positive, connected environment
Absolutely.
outside of
Absolutely.
that?
Yeah. The leadership truly understands that being committed to member satisfaction, it really begins with being engaged and invested with the employees. It may sound simple, but I tell you, it goes a long way. We have a business casual dress code, of course, business attire, but it creates that relaxed environment. We employ a successful hybrid work model. We know, of course, during COVID and that sort of thing, that was kind of implemented. But what we found was that we were getting the work done. So, of course, executive leadership as well as Hank, we decided to keep that work model in place, and it works and it's working. And
Absolutely.
as long as we're achieving the results we're achieving, he tells us all the time that hybrid work model is going to stay in place. And then I mentioned Team Day. Part of that day as well is to kind of give the results on our annual variable compensation program. And what this does, it really allows all employees to really kind of share in the success of our credit union when it meets its annual goals. So we really thrive simply because we're built with a people first workplace culture.
Absolutely. And I saw that recently, but we'll get to that conversation in a minute, because I want to talk about, you had mentioned earlier that this is Delta Community's 85th anniversary. You have, and especially with the name in the Atlanta metro area, the Delta name to it,
Yes.
you have a rich legacy. How do you balance the roots of Delta Community's 85 years and honor that? But still, I see the innovation and the growth that you're accomplishing. How do you balance that?
So what began in March of 1940 with 8 founding members at Delta Airlines and $45 in capital has grown into Georgia's largest credit union. Of course, we have more than 515,000 members and nearly $9 billion in assets. So we have remained committed to providing exceptional service, trusted financial guidance, and superior value on essential banking and lending services. I must say the longevity while balancing growth and innovation truly hinges upon attracting and retaining top-tier talent to consistently deliver exceptional services that our members have come to expect from us. A lot of it is definitely always keeping our members at the forefront. When we think about the growing and the innovating, we think about the expanding, we think about the digital experience, and the way a lot of our members need to bank. We have to keep that at the forefront. So what we have done, we also invested in expanding our physical and digital footprints. We're opening branches in high growth areas and constantly enhancing our award-winning mobile app and online banking tools. So it's an evolving financial landscape, and we strive to meet our members exactly where they are.
Something that both you and I share.
Absolutely.
Let me and Jerry, let me just confirm what I think I heard.
Mhm.
I know you're not that old, but Delta Community started 85 years ago with 8 members, and today you have more than 515,000. You started with $45 in capital, and today you're at nearly $9 billion in total assets.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Close to $9 billion
Congratulations.
in assets.
Congratulations on that.
Absolutely.
We hinted at this, and you talk about the growth in that. And so we met a couple of months ago at Locust Grove, and I believe, is that your newest branch? It's at least your newest branch in Henry. Is that the newest branch you have in Metro?
Yes, it is. It is our 4th location in Henry County, which marks number 30 in the metro, 33 total. However, number 31 is coming. Number 31 is coming in September in Rockdale. So for those that may be listening that live in kind of the northeast communities of Henry County, we also have a branch that's opening in Rockdale in September.
Wonderful.
So that'll be number 31 throughout the metro.
What excites you most about that growth?
Let me start with Locust. Let me start with Locust Grove. What excites me most about expanding in the Locust Grove area is that it truly aligns with kind of our vision for the metro and the rest of the growth of Metro Atlanta. As you know, of course, you're the chamber president, but you know all the growth that has happened in Henry County and all the growth that's coming throughout the metro, especially with the expansion of the port in Savannah that you know about. That's going to, the next 5 years, it's going to just create a wave here. But that location particularly, it allows us to better serve our nearly 8,000 members. We have 8,000 members who live or work within a 5-mile radius of the Locust Grove location. So our customers in that area, and also neighboring Butts and Spalding counties, they no longer have to drive to McDonough or Stockbridge for their banking needs. The feedback, Joseph, for that location, even when everyone knew before it was open, when everyone knew it was coming, unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable. Every place that I went, when they saw my tablecloth or my banner, when I'm at an event and that sort of thing, I'm talking, when are you guys opening? When are you guys open? When are you coming? And it's just been absolutely, absolutely just great with that location opening, and with the excitement. We know that's generating more member satisfaction. Because of the traffic and that sort of thing, they no longer have to drive. So definitely excited about that. I also must mention, as we continue to expand our field of membership, we definitely are analyzing the branch viability thereafter. So most recently, we've added Barrow, Jackson, Newton, and Walton counties to our Metro Atlanta field of membership. So the expansion, this was approved by our Georgia Department of Banking and Finance, and this is going to allow us to extend membership eligibility, not just to the 16 counties that we were rendering eligibility for, but now it expands to 20 Metro Atlanta counties.
Well, and we've talked a lot about Locust Grove, but I know that you've got 3 other locations in Henry County. Let's give a shout out to them, would you, please?
Yes, absolutely. Our Stockbridge, of course, location, Eagles Landing, and then our Mount Zion locations. And I must say, Henry County is the only county that we have 4 locations.
Well,
So we have
as
that
it
many
should be.
locations. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I want to get back to, as we close, I want to get back to culture and that. And so with your 11 consecutive years of recognition by the Business Chronicle, for organizations striving to create a people-first culture, such as Delta Communities, whether, they're in finance or education, small business, anything along that way, what's 1 or 2 pieces of advice that you can offer?
With the workplace culture, and of course, you mentioned in the beginning, the 11th consecutive year of us having been recognized as the best places to work, I must say this. We have an authentic and people-focused leader. He goes by the name of Hank. He insists on being called Hank. It's more than just a simple gesture. Hank has a way of connecting with the newest to the oldest employee and making everyone feel heard or understood, which simply creates a sense of belonging. I don't think that it's a coincidence that our 11th consecutive year being named Best Places to Work aligns with his 13-year tenure.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely. So imagine working with the organization where you feel that the CEO and executive team is committed to the success of the enterprise as well as its people. So that's the secret to our connected environment. It truly starts with our leadership. I must say that Hank really champions that with his leadership. And of course, every organization can't have Hank as their CEO. So of course, of course, we're honored and blessed to have him. Of course, I work many different places, and it's truly different here. I really mean that. There's something that's unique, and it's something that's different. So, with that being said, when you think about the people first culture, I must say that I would say you have to understand the individual strengths of your team members and being able to leverage those strengths and having the right people in the right seats is the bottom line. Secondly, you must create a clearly defined development path and opportunities for those paths. A lot of times, we assume that growth is always upward. Growth may not be upward. They may want to grow with the organization, but they may want to do other things outside of their immediate department or the immediate division. That needs to be championed. That needs to be promoted, and that needs to be supported. And then lastly, you have to constantly develop your bench strength. You have to remain fluid in terms of employee development and that mobility that I'm speaking with. So constantly focusing on the employment development piece.
I appreciate that. I think that what you gave us is some great groundwork for not just organizational development, but employee development. And I commend you all because I try to do that with 11 full-time employees. And what did you tell us earlier? How many employees do y'all have there?
1,363 to be exact.
Okay.
Yeah, 13.
Well, Hank is doing a darn good job.
Over 1,300, yeah.
Jerry, I want to thank you for your time and again congratulate you and Delta Community Credit Union for this recognition and appreciate you sharing some of the inside information about Delta Community and how you all are maximizing that strength that you have in your employee base. And I look forward to having you back on soon, and we'll talk about some of those philanthropies and some of the other business things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Certainly appreciate it, Joseph. And I must say the Henry County Chamber is certainly moving in the right direction and doing things differently. This is my 3rd year with you guys, being a member for that territory with the Henry Chamber. And I must say the experience and, of course, the partnership with you guys as we partner in many different things has been absolutely a great experience. Love working with you guys.
Appreciate that, sir. I love working with you guys, too. You guys are amazing. I'm so excited to have celebrated the Locust Grove opening with you, and I look forward to both of our organizations growing together.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
And we'll be right back.
Welcome to this episode's Member Minute, where we highlight exciting news, milestones, and upcoming ribbon cuttings across our chamber community. Celebrate with us at our upcoming ribbon cuttings, August the 6th at 11 a.m. for DNA Med Services, LLC. August the 12th at 11 a.m. for Unashamed Body and Wellness Group, LLC. August 15th at 3 p.m., Imagine the View Preparatory, Inc. August 16th at 4 p.m. for Pediatric Dental Studios. August 26th at 11 a.m. for Exit Self Property Advisors. Are you new to the Chamber? Our next member orientation is happening August 19th. Join us to meet the team, connect with fellow members, and learn how to get the most out of your membership. Interested in hearing more about our members? Check out our member news section on our website. You've heard about our podcast sponsorships, so why not make it your moment? We'll record your ad, give your business a shout out, and even offer a bundle with our e-newsletter to expand your reach. It's simple, affordable, and built to highlight what makes you stand out. Reach out to Trinity at tarcher@henrycounty.com to get started.
If you are interested in discussing membership benefits or sponsorship opportunities, please connect with our team at 770-957-5786 or at henrycounty.com. And join us next week for more member and community news. So until next time, stay connected, stay inspired, and keep growing with us at the Henry County Chamber.